Miss March?
No.
Okay, the premise of the movie is that this guy, he's got this crush on a girl, right? And I think they're like in like high school or college or something. He gets hit by like a bus and is in like a coma. In order to get like life-saving surgery, this girl that he has this crush on, like poses for Playboy. Maybe like they're dating or something. I don't really remember, but the point is that she like does Playboy to like get money to keep him alive. And one of the people that they're in school with is like at the beginning of the movie, he's like a small time rapper.
Horsestick.jpg.
Yes.
So
You have seen this
fuck
movie.
Your ass.
Anyways, Kevin, so he calls himself horsestick.jpg, except he doesn't have a wiener at all. Like he has to like insert like a straw into like where his wiener would be to pee. Like he was
Why
just
are
born
you telling me that? Why are you telling me this?
Because Wes was like, it's your boy Big Dick coming at you with an ironically small penis. It just made me think of that. It made me think of horsestick.jpg.
All right, we're gonna cancel this episode.
I'm a fuck a white bitch. 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 I'm a fuck a white bitch.
Oh, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're tuning in from across the country and around the world. I didn't see you there. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome to the Life Midwest podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Palmer. We got our Thai correspondent, Wes Shirley, over there.
Sorry, I'm an elephant today.
He's a motherfucking elephant. And Seattle's best, but I don't mean the coffee, over here or over there. Lenny Wells.
Hello, I am a Nigerian prince, and I need you to send me all of your money so that I can get out, and I will double it for you and send it back to you.
Well, that's a great preview of what we're talking about today. Join a washed-up musician, a communications major, and an Army veteran originally from the Midwest as we talk about life and events that are both current and events. Today's going to be a more relevant topic, or a topic of relevance, scams, and how bad they've gotten. Not bad as in like how terrible of deal, like this is the worst trade deal ever, but like how like I don't know. People are fucking sneaky snakes, and we're going to talk about it. Lenny, you look like you have something you really want to say.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay, you kind of like leaned into your mic. It's like, what does he got? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna, we'll just start right now then, because I just think it's ironic that like you were parodying the Orange Man, but like he has like one of the like biggest scams going on right now. Like, I'm sure most people know about this at this point, but he like when he had his like web page up for you so you could like donate to his legal defense fund, like none of the donations actually went to like paying any sort of lawyer. It was all just going like into like either like a re-election fund or a private fund that he just like will use for whatever the fuck he's going to use it for, which is kind of a scam.
Mr. Trump needs your help.
Yeah. He's like the king of scam. His whole business model is a scam.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and there's definitely truth there to back it up.
Anyways,
Wes, how do you feel about
funny.
the Orange Man scamming?
I don't know. How do I feel about like a bear shitting in the woods? It's just gonna happen.
Well, I don't really know where we want to start with this, but obviously, you know, there's all kinds of shit out there, from, you know, phoning innocent senior citizens to email phishing to obviously identity theft and identity fraud. There's all kinds of shit out there, and the internet's a scary place. But Wes, where do you want to start?
Well, let's talk about some different scams that exist. You know, we have phishing. You know, like you get a link and you click the link, and the link's like, "You've won $1 billion. Click here to redeem your prize." But then like they just steal your information because like you clicked a link that was actually like a stealth keylogger, someone that like records your keystrokes. Or you like go further down the rabbit hole, you click a link and you think it's a legitimate source, like irs.grv, and you're like, oh, this is definitely the IRS, and you like enter in your social security number or any amount of information. I think it's said a hacker only needs like 3 parts of information and they can have access to your bank and everything else. So like your address, your phone number, your social security number, your driver's license number, your bank account number, whatever. Any 3 pieces of information and they can steal your identity. So phishing is one of the most common ones. Sometimes they have to do a little bit of social engineering to get you there. They call you, hey, I'm a Nigerian prince and I can double your funds. Something really dumb like that. But, to us it seems like a joke. We're all pretty computer scat. Jesus, I can't talk. I think I'm allergic to this hat. We're all a little computer savvy here, so it seems like a joke to us, but think of the millions, if not tens, hundreds of millions of people in our country and all around the world who this isn't too far-fetched for them. They're like, well, I don't really know how the internet works. Maybe this person can double my funds. And it's kind of like a rampant issue. Hell, even Linus Tech Tips got hacked. And it was from a phishing scam from one of his employees. For the record, I'll put a link in the description when this goes live, but I think he handled it phenomenally. Like as a boss, as an entrepreneur, he didn't blame the person that did it. It can happen to anyone, including computer savvy people. And it just goes to show that big YouTube channels are getting hacked, and it's kind of an issue.
And you can get hacked too. Nobody's safe. Fear the internet.
And to be safe, just click the link in our description. Enter in your social security number. It's safe, completely safe. Credit card number, bank account number, driver's license, home address, first of kin.
Blood type.
Blood type for sure. Let us know if you have good kidneys. Were you a smoker?
How's your eyesight? Do you have cataracts? Do you still have at least one or both of your testicles? How are your ovaries doing? All kind of stuff.
We're especially interested in the testicles here at the Life Midwest podcast.
Especially interested.
Give us your balls.
FBI, open up!
Too late for this shit, boys. It is too late for this.
Have you ever been like? Have you ever like accidentally fallen for a phishing scam?
I've come close, and I it was years ago, before I really knew. But the most typical, I feel like a common one is Apple. Like you get an email and somebody like you get an email and it's like an order confirmation for like the latest iPhone, and so you immediately panic and you're like, oh my god, I didn't order an iPhone. And you don't check the email address or where it's from, and it says dear customer instead of dear Kevin. Just all those rampant giveaways. And obviously like, oh, if you did make this order, click here. Like, they give you a way out like right in the fucking email. And I remember putting in my Apple ID and my password, and it was a legit looking website. It looked just like iCloud.com at the time. And I was like 15 or 16. You know what I mean? So like I got. Within 5 minutes, I realized, like, I went back and I was like, something's not right. And I called Apple and I was like, hey. And they were like, nope, we didn't send you an email. So like I changed my password and that was the end of it. But that was a scary fucking 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't know what they're going to do with that information. Like, there's all kinds of, like, to Wes's point, there's all kinds of things they can do with your information.
Yeah, especially with something like that. I don't know how involved, like, iCloud was at the time, but, like, now with, like, electronic payments, like, you're done. I've got a really interesting example. Somebody I worked with, they went to download Chromecast on their smart TV, and instead of downloading Chromecast, they downloaded Chrome like Caster or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something that was very close. Put in like their Google information, and then within seconds, like bank accounts were drained. All kind of like horrible stuff. Luckily, I've never fallen for it that I know of. I've I've gotten like a few like suspicious emails from like someone claiming to be my bank, and anytime it has something to do with my bank, I call my bank and I'm like, hey, I got this letter, or hey, I just got this email slash voicemail. Was this you? Yes or no? And it's always been no.
And I think that's the one piece of advice that I would want to offer in the show today is like if you get something like that, there is no penalty, there is no harm, no foul. There's nothing wrong or penalizing with you confirming with that institution that it's real. You know what I mean? Because like they're not gonna put a time limit on you. They're not gonna say like, oh, you need to contact us within like 10 minutes or your computer's gonna fucking blow up. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna like the scams are gonna make you do something or try to get you to do something in a not right state of mind where you're panicking and thinking that you have to do like and make a decision quickly. So I don't know if these are the kinds of things that Wes wanted to talk about today, but these are the kind of things that come to mind. So I'll kick it back to him.
Hey, whatever comes to mind. I mean, everyone has their own experience with this. One thing I want to mention is that, like, yeah, this has happened to me too. Like, it wasn't a real scam because I didn't let it go as far as I guess it could have. But when I was searching for jobs out of college, I had an interview. An interview. It was a waste of my time with someone claiming they were Intel Corporation. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Intel's reaching out to me about my resume on LinkedIn or whatever. And I didn't read the email address. It was like something at intel@gmail.com. And I'm like, oh, mother effers. After like a half-hour interview and answering pointless questions and like prepping for this interview, I realized I was talking to just some scammer. And after I realized that, I got all types of emails from all these different email addresses, like orientation information. Click this to learn more. I'm like, God, now they're on to me. They have my email. They're just gonna keep sending me shit. And they're all like generated email addresses. So like, imagine 24-hour email. Like, I can't just block one person and it's gone. So like, that's basically a junk email now. And yeah, so like, I think I'm pretty computer savvy, and this happened to me like a couple years ago. Like, so it happens. You know, you're in a hurry or you're overly excited, a bit overzealous about an opportunity, and you lose your mind. Luckily, it didn't go any further for me, but you know, my mother's getting up there in years, and she's not exactly computer savvy, and they target her. So many people target her. She's sending me a message every other day. Hey, should I click this? No, Mom, don't click that. You know, it's actually quite tiring. It was to the point before I came to Thailand where I was like doing my own investigating. If someone sends her some bullshit, I have her send them a link back with an IP tracker, and they're always in fucking Africa. They're either in Africa or India. Like, it kind of sucks because like it's predictable, but she trusts like I don't want to call her gullible. She's intelligent, but like she's not computer savvy, and she's getting smarter to it. But for a good year or two, I'm just like, no, don't click that. No, don't click that. No, don't click that. Here, send this to them, and then send me the results. Like, just doing some investigating. But yeah. So I there wasn't anything specific I wanted to talk about today. I just think it's good to get, you know, whoever listens to us whenever, it's always a good reminder that you should be cautious and vigilant of what you're doing online. And, you know, to even what Lenny said, read what you're downloading. Chromecaster or Chromecast are two different things. Apple iTunes versus Apple uTunes, two different things. Like, just make sure you're downloading the thing from the publisher. And make sure that if you do download something and then realize that it's not from the actual publisher, to delete it and make sure you don't interface with it. Give no information unless you are 100% positive it's the correct source. The IRS will only mail you, right? They're not going to send you text. They're not going to send you emails. I don't know, the State Department dealing with your social security number or anything is only going to contact you through official means. The U.S. Postal Service will only contact you through official means. As far as U.S. agencies go, you know, you can make sure that you're dealing with the official means. And then if you're dealing with a company, just make sure it's at their domain. And it's not something weird like XYZ at support at Gmail, messaging you from Apple or Google or Asus or literally any company name.
Yep. You can check authenticity certs by the web address, the HTTPS. And if you ever have like a question about something, like if it's like a phone call or an email, you can always double check by like kind of like Wes said, like going to wherever that is. So like if the IRS is calling you, and they're wanting, first off, if anybody asks you for like to make payments in gift cards, it's 100% a scam. Don't ever fall for that one. But you can always go to websites. Don't click their links to go to their website. Boot up a fresh Google tab or Safari tab or whatever. Type in the agency you're looking at, call that phone number that's listed, and they'll tell you whether something's legit or not.
That's a good point, Lenny. Don't use any information from that email.
Yep, nothing. No links. If they send you anything, double check before doing anything with it. No attachments, no links, nada.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, coming up, I want to talk about our favorite anecdotal scam stories, which I know we kind of touched on at the beginning of the episode, but I want to see if we have any more. Something tells me that a man wearing an elephant hat or elephant as a hat has some good information for us. We'll be right back.
So do we want to do an example of me pulling up an IP? I can blur it out, the actual location out, but like if you're trying to scam me and I play like non-computer savvy person, you're probably going to click whatever link I send you back. So I've gotten so many people and then forwarded their location to the FBI. And it's just as simple, like we can show the whole process in the podcast, and I think that'd be pretty cool. I'll just need one of you to click the link through line.
All right.
So let's assume someone's trying to scam you. They think you're an idiot. Well, guess what? They're the real idiot. They're going to click on anything you send back to them because it's possibly the images to their coveted Amazon codes and their coveted Google Play codes and their Target gift card codes. So we're going to fuck with them. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this wonderful thing called Grabify IP Logger. They don't sponsor us. You could go back, and I just typed in IP Grabber up here in the search bar. IP Logger works too. Grabify. Type in a URL or just what you want it to be called. I'm gonna call it udumb.scam. And then we're gonna create the URL. So udumb.scam. I agree. You can create it. And it's gonna give me a code, and then it's gonna show me people who click on this. So I'll use a new URL. We want to mask this a little bit. If it says udumb.scam right off the rip, they're probably not going to hit that. And if it says grabify.link, they're also probably not going to hit that. So I'm just going to copy that code, go to tinyurl, put my new code into tinyurl. It's not the only thing that's tiny. And we're going to shorten another one. tinyurl alias Sugama. There we go, tinyurl.com/Sugama. So we're gonna make the tiny URL. Copy, perfect. And then I'm gonna send it to some gullible nerds who are trying to scam me. Hello, friends. Would you mind clicking this wonderful link?
Yes, I am a gullible nerd, actually.
That's what I thought. Trying to scam me. I'm smart. So we go back to the tracking thing, and we refresh it. It doesn't refresh live, you just kind of got to hit it. I'll hide the bots. We got a bot in Japan. There we go, the United States. So he says he's from, where'd you say you're from, sir?
I don't know, what does it say, Edmonds?
Oh no, you're actually from there though. Okay. He says he's from the IRS in Gravity Falls. Well, let's check this info. Well, He's definitely located in Edmonds, United States, with that IP address at this date and time. He's using a Samsung Galaxy. What a nerd. Let's copy Edmonds, USA, and see where he's at. We'll just go into Google.
Getting so much hate from Wes, from Kevin. It be your own people.
All right. So Edmond, Washington. This nerd is trying to scam me from Washington. So maybe I just show like an overhead map and send it to that person. So we use the snipping tool, which is like, if you're on a computer, it's Windows Shift S, opens up the snipping tool, take yourself a nice picture of that area, save that picture, send it back to them. Nice try scamming me, nerds.
Oh my god, he knows where I live.
Fucking got him.
Welcome back, everyone, to the other side of the break of the Life Midwest podcast. I was going for a remix, but then my brain just froze. ADHD is a motherfucker, everybody. If you're looking for ways to support us and our mental handicaps, we do have a PayPal at paypal.me/thelifemidwest. Does cost money to run the show. We do appreciate any support you're able to lend to us. Not lend, because we're not getting it back, sorry. We do have free ways to support us as well. You can reach out to us at any of our major social platforms at The Life Midwest, and you can also email us at support@thelifemidwest.com. We also have a website. We have a website at thelifemidwest.com. I gotta match Lenny's energy here. We got a website at thelifemidwest.com. It's really great. You should check it out.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. That's...
Speaking of which, check out last week's episode featuring Wu-Tang Dan. Not to be confused with the Wu-Tang Clan.
We literally called him that at work. I don't know if I mentioned that in the episode last week, but we literally called him that at work. Yeah, that was his nickname, and he rolled with it proudly. So there's that. So, hey, before we go to the shout outs and close out the show this week, I wanted to see, Wes is full of good stories. If you haven't already figured this out by now at almost 100 episodes, Lenny usually has some good stories. I'm just here. But what do you guys have? What do you guys have for anecdotes? Maybe something that could help someone, avoid a potential scam or identity fished lawsuit, identity theft. I don't know. I'm making shit up. You got anything?
Wes, do you have anything off the top of the head?
I got plenty. I love fucking with scammers.
On the top of the snout.
Yo. Hey kids, Flappy the security elephant here.
Off the top of the tusks.
Yeah. So, I was actually in Japan when this happened. This was like 2018, maybe 2019. I don't really know. It was before I was together with my wife, so it had to have been 2018. And I downloaded Tinder or whatever. I'm like, I'm in Japan. Might as well see what the scene's like. And the first thing I get hit with is a scammer. And I knew they were a scammer because their pictures were all of different people. Close enough, but just obviously different if you take any amount of time to look at it. And so anyone who tries to waste my time, I'm just so much better at wasting their time because I'm petty. So just for a week, maybe it was maybe two weeks, I'm just replying to their thing I'm super interested, and it got to the point where they're like, oh, I need money for something, and I'm so attentive to that, right? I want to help them. I know how you feel. Oh man, it's so bad. I was calling them babe and stuff, and then it got to a point where I'm asking if they want to see a picture of my and of course I send them a rooster, right? Which pisses them off. They're like, what, are you fucking with me? I'm like, no. I really have a cock. I just wanted you to see it. And then I strung them along for a little bit more time. And it was to the point where basically I've wasted probably 20 or more hours of their time. And hopefully that was taking away time from them scamming other people. Although they probably had an operation going where they were trying to get a bunch of dumb, gullible Westerners. Their English wasn't impeccable, and by impeccable I mean atrocious. So like they probably weren't very successful. I don't know. I have more stories like that, but it's not as interesting as like, I don't know. I don't even know if that one was interesting, but I did enjoy sending them pictures of my cock. I'm like, they're prized roosters.
I think we found our TikTok highlight for the week, Lenny.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you got, Len?
I don't have anything nearly that good. Mostly because with the position that I don't want to say, maybe not position, but the job I had while I was in the military, they were very they shoved like that kind of phishing and like IT awareness training like down our throats on a regular basis. So from a pretty, I guess, young age for me, because like I never encountered like internet scams like, you know, as like a high schooler, you know, teenager. And it wasn't really until you know, I was an adult that I started having to worry about them. And then at that time, like I said, I was getting this for what it's worth, I guess, government like awareness training. And I think that, like I said, the closest I've ever come was I got a email from someone pretending to be Comcast a couple months ago, where they're like, "Hey, we've got like this new deal to lower your internet bill," and I was like, "Ooh, shit!" I almost clicked it, but I didn't. I was like, "Wait a minute, this doesn't look right." Called Comcast, and it was fake. So,
you know that video of that lady who's like the apartment fire where she's like, "Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right."
Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, no. Well, they also called me from like a number that was like really weird. It was a U.S. number, but it wasn't like the 800. It wasn't like an 800 like number. And it didn't come up as Comcast on my caller ID. So I was like, "This is weird." But I don't know. When it comes to people trying to waste my time, as much as I would like to be petty as petty as Wes is, I simply just don't care enough to do so. I'm just like, all right, delete and just move on. All right, well, again, just one last tip for anybody out there: if you do get like a weird like link somewhere, don't click on it, but you can also hover over that hyperlink, and it'll show you the website that it's taking you to. Mm-hmm. At least if you're on a computer. Don't really know a good way to do that on your phone. So maybe just don't do it when you're on your phone. But that's one more little tip for you guys, and yeah.
Thanks to the boys this week. Special shout out before we begin the shout outs to Wes showing us his cock and Lenny giving us the tip. Folks, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. It's time for the shout outs. Lenny, we'll kick it off with you. What do you got this week?
First and foremost, I'm always gonna shout out my wonderful wife, Brittany, for just putting up with me and my suspicious links that I send her, risky clicks. Shout out to Wes for showing us his cock today.
Anytime.
And then just shout out to you guys more generally for the for again creating the space, this little thing we get to do every week. Special shout out to Wu-Tang Dan, since I wasn't available for that, but good episode. Wu-Tang Dan ain't nothing to fuck with. And yeah, those are my shout outs. Oh, shout out to scammers who are trying to ruin people's lives, because that's what they're doing. They're ruining people's lives.
You're worse than a fucking timeshare presentation.
Those are scammers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you know, sitting there through like a 5-hour presentation versus like someone just like being, you know, trying to scam you. I mean, what's more painful?
Probably both, because timeshares are a scam. So, I mean, it's a little column A, little column B, I guess. But
Who do you want to shout out?
I'm gonna give a firm shout out to Strong Passwords and not giving those passwords away. I'll include probably right here in the video, like it's a chart of like how long your password has to be, how complex your password has to be in order for someone to brute force it. I'd like to give a shout out to two-factor authentication. If you fuck around and give someone your password and then they try to access your account from Africa and you're located in the US, they're probably going to make sure that they have to enter in that two-factor authentication, which just saved your ass, gives you enough time to change your password and block that person who tried scamming you. So shout out to 2FA, shout out to Strong Passwords, shout out to all the elderly people who are constantly being targeted and having their time wasted, and unfortunately sometimes having their money and energy and everything else wasted by these just like scum of the earth. It's not like the earth doesn't suck enough anyways for humans, you know, like everyone's out trying to get your money like through official means, but these motherfuckers are out here like, hey, I'm the FBI, open up. FBI, open up! So fuck them. But shout out to the people who are being affected by that. Shout out to both of you. I'm so glad I got to show y'all my cow. I've never been happier. And
Same.
truly a moment worth living for.
And this is a weird thing to shout out after Cox, but shout out to mothers because that's what we do here at the Life Midwest.
That is what we do here at the show.
Kevin, Kevin, who are your shout outs?
I'm going to shout out Ashley, my amazing future wife, who kept me up this evening so that we could record tonight. It was difficult, and I just thank her. And want to shout out two-factor authentication as well. Want to shout out hovering over hyperlinks. Want to shout out Lenny's tip. and I want to shout out Wes's elephant hat. Folks, this is not like a complete, how-to guide on how to avoid this shit, but it's so bad out there. We thought we'd cover the basics and show you a couple of things, and I think we accomplished that today. So I appreciate Wes for the idea for the show and taking the time to educate us a little bit.
Y'all gonna get learned.
I do also want to shout out, this is completely unrelated, but I want to shout out both Ashley and Lenny for some pretty heartfelt talks this week. Going through a little bit of shit in my personal life that I don't really want to air out on the show, but they've been there for me a little bit more than usual this week, so I appreciate the hell out of them. So big ups to them. And don't worry, Elephant Man's gonna get his day because he just found out he's giving a speech at my wedding. So
easy. That's what I do. I give speeches at weddings.
Yeah.
Can I wear the
Folks,
elephant hat while I do that?
I probably not.
Hold on. Just hear me out. So I'm sitting there, right? I'm in like a tux or whatever, and I'm just like, you think I'm pulling out a piece of paper to unfold and give a speech, but no, out comes the fucking elephant hat, followed by the piece of paper. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Folks, leave us a review on your favorite listening platform. Don't forget to leave us a review there. Thumbs up us, 5-star us. Leave us some kind words. We appreciate it. Email us at support@thelifemidwest.com. Check out our socials. We're going to try to get TikTok going with some highlights, hopefully, in the next week or two here. So you can interact with our social media manager, Lenny, at all major social platforms at The Life Midwest. And check out the website at thelifemidwest.com. Folks, we will be back next Saturday and every Saturday here on the show. We'll be talking about why the fuck are Americans so obsessed with Cinco de Mayo? And I'm sighing for two reasons. One, because we are, and two, because it's already May. I don't know where the fuck this year is going. I'm getting married in 4 months. Folks, that's it for this week. Call your mom. Tell someone you love them. Take care and have a good one. See you later.
Deuces.
Bye, love you, babies.